wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. I'm Travis. Talitha's in the other room. She'll be here in a few minutes. And it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for Dynamite. Looks like we got Maria Shafir. I think that's her name, Maria. My Maria. Mrs. Shafir. All right. Penelope Ford later on tonight, going one-on-one with the great one, Tony Storm. Should be pretty good later on tonight. Looks like Bane is going to be in her corner. But right now we got Willow Nightingale coming out. I think she's going to be fighting Shafir. I don't know if this is a mixed gender tag team match. I saw Moxley out there, but of course Moxley's going to come out with Shafir. Should be a good one though, especially if you're into old Willow. I don't know how old she is. She doesn't look too old. Hello, Sophie. I don't know what you said, but it's good to see you in here. Not Claudio Castagnoli. Swerve's house! There he comes! Swerve while you drive. Yeah, because it's Swerve's house. Anyways, we're going to be here for the long haul now on. So join us Friday. We'll be here for the SmackDown. Look at this on the outside. Swerve immediately attacking Jon Moxley. What the hell? Oh, dear Lord. All right, well, we got some fighting on the outside. That looks silly as shit. Come on, Swerve! Swerve stripping his clothes off. Just took his jacket clean off of him. Oh, hit him with an elbow, though. Willow's just high-fiving the crowd. Marina Shafir is obviously... Oh, God! She's already attacking Willow. Willow shouldn't have taken her... whatever that's called, attention off of her. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, God! Shafir right into the ram. It's not a ram. She was rammed into the barricade. There's the word we were looking for. Oh, snap suplex right down on that ground. And we know that floor is made out of concrete underneath that little padding. Pad's probably like an inch thick. Anyways, now it looks like Team Moxley here flipping over a table. Women always struggle with tables, and I never understood that. Oh, God! Willow just hit her right in the nose. Trying to throw her into the ring. Oh, match is underway. It's official. It's official. All this nonsense has been happening, but the match hasn't been official, but now it's official. Oh, God. Just rolled her. Oh! Hip toss. Again. Just hip toss after hip toss. How can Willow survive? Willith is a behemoth of a woman. Poor Shafir getting manhandled in there. Oh, God! That was Moxley's face. Right to the steps. I gotta see if that split him open, because that was brutality at its finest. Anyways, another suplex in the ring. It looks like Willow Nightingale's getting the top end here of Shafir. Oh! Forearm cross right across her chest. Her old chesticles. Uh-oh, Moxley into the ropes! Swerve jumps over him. A little shoulder tackle. Then Moxley pulls out the double fingers. Tells everybody they're number one. Moxley's got his foot caught like in a bear trap. I don't know what you call that, but I'm going to call it the bear trap. Oh, poor Shafir. Oh, swerve! Missile dropkick right up by the face. Whose house? Swerve's house. There is a pay-per-view this Sunday. We'll not be doing it, but if you guys like AEW, make sure you tune into it. Because it should be pretty good. Look at that. Willow Nightingale just dropkicked Moxley herself. Uh-oh. Oh! Willow with the splash! And again. It's a mixed tornado tag. There it is. Swerve getting busy. Showing us how to two-step. Oh, Shafir! The big boot right to her face. Poor Willow. She got that knee dug right in the back of her. No, Marina Shafir. Slap right there to the breast. Right to the giant chest there of Willow. Oh, shit! Swerve thrown into the crowd. Oh. Another brutal kick from Shafir. She's trying to break the baby maker. There it is. Oh, Moxley giving instructions, as a great general should. Call him Captain. Uh-oh. Look at that. Just choking her out on the top rope, on the second rope, middle rope, whatever you want to call it. Oh, Shafir with another kick. Oh! Another giant chop from Shafir. Oh. She's got the behemoth down in the corner. Oh! Moxley just got slapped. That Shafir takes care of it. Mox is like, look, I'm not going to hit a woman. Uh-oh! Maybe he is! He's going to manhandle a woman! Here it comes! Uh-oh! Swerve's got Shafir! They're going to give it up. They're going to say, okay, give me yours and I'll give you mine. There it is. Couple gentlemen right there. Willow. Like a giant rhinoceros. Into the corner! Pops out. Look at that hip lock toss. Uh-oh. Rolls her through. Oh, shit. Willow's hurting. Rolls to the outside. Shafir follows right away, though. Keeping the pressure turned up. Big right hand. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. A muffler stretch? No, she doesn't have the strength. Oh, fuck! She powerbombed her through a table. Shafir didn't have the strength to get her up. But she did a pretty good goddamn job of it. Alright, we're in a full commercial, and I don't have picture-in-picture. I don't see Dalitha anytime soon, so I will see if I can get in here and read some of your comments. There might be some in the door. Alright, how do I do this? There is. There's that. Let me make sure I go to that. Go to all messages. Alright. Hi, Worsty. First thing from Sophie's mouth. Worsty! She is playing hooky. Your thoughts on WWE introducing a match into the Hall of Fame starting this year? I have no problem with them doing matches. I mean, obviously, they're not like the same thing as going into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like, you could be a non Hall of Famer and have a match that was good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. It's not like you're a Hall of Fame. The 14-time Hall of Famer, because he's got a few matches in there. I mean, obviously, the first match that needs to go in there would be Hogan and Andre, as it's the biggest match in the history of wrestling. But there are a few that need to go in, I mean, that are really good. Even your boy Shawn Michaels, I know a lot of people like him, but he had that match with Razor Ramon, that ladder match, obviously Hall of Fame worthy if we're going to start putting in Hall of Fame matches. And there's a bunch. I mean, obviously, Ric Flair, if you're going to use any of the WCW stuff, there's quite a few there too. But even Ric Flair's last match with Shawn Michaels could probably Hall of Fame worthy. Could be. I don't know. I'm not that. And then Jenna says, "Hey, I'm here for Megan's boobs. I mean, Biden's." And we understand what you're talking about because they are massive. But you see Linda Hogan talking bad about Hulk and Brooke. Yeah, well, she wasn't really talking bad about Brooke, but yeah, she's pretty upset. She had a rough life there for a minute. She decided to start screwing her like son's best friend and making a terrible life for herself, and she forgot that she was an aging woman that paid her dues, and she should have been in a better relationship when she was younger. But she made her bed, she stayed in it, and then she ended up leaving it when she got older, after she got a little fame from the television show that they were in, and now she's in a rough place. And I feel for her, I really do. But yeah, I mean, Brooke hasn't talked to her in years. I mean, obviously Hogan. What's going on?
Who are you talking about?
Linda Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
She's just in a bad place. And hopefully, she can get the help she needs and whatnot. But anyways, this match is back on. It looks like we've got the behemoth at the bottom here. She's gonna power him all over. Bam! She took everybody out, even Swerve. Alright, and then she sailed. And then Rebecca says, "Hey guys," and stuff. And then everybody said hi, like an ecstatic hi. And then AEW All in Texas got moved to earlier time in July, so they won't compete against Saturday night main events. That's an interesting thing to do, as long as they haven't sold tickets. I mean, yeah, why not? There's no reason to try to compete against something like that. And plus, there could be a UFC thing or whatever. They should do their stuff on Sundays. WWE is kind of banned in Sundays. And so Sundays are open, so why not? They're doing a Sunday pay-per-view this weekend. And if there was a pay-per-view, the 13th, that would be cool, because the 12th is the big day that it was supposed to be. But why do it on a Saturday? There's always something going on Saturdays. Sunday was a great day for pay-per-views, and I think that WWE would be better if they did Sundays also. Yes, Sophie, I saw. Well, I didn't see anything about it, but Dee did tell me that Val Kilmer died, and he is one of my favorite actors of all time. Like, I was thinking about watching Real Genius, either tonight or sometime soon. Obviously, Tombstone would be another great one with him. Top Gun. I mean, there's more, but those are my three favorites. Iceman. Anyways, and then Sophie says, "Do you think that WWE will do a 3-week European tour before Mania every year?" I think it was successful. I didn't look at their actual numbers, but if it's successful and it works, why not? Plus, they're testing the waters to see how a major pay-per-view would do over there. A Mania, I bet you, is what they're planning on doing. And so with the Saudi Arabia stuff, they could do a Mania in Saudi Arabia and work all the way through Europe and come right down into Saudi Arabia for the WrestleMania. It would be awesome. And then Sophie says AEW Collision will move to Thursday so that they won't compete with Mania Night. Yeah, to be honest, they should do that every week. They should just move it to Thursday. Obviously, TNA is with WWF now, and so why not? Obviously, you're not trying to help them anymore. You're not bringing people over anymore. You don't have that open door or the back door, whatever it was called, forbidden door. Now you can just worry about yourself, and I think Thursday would be a better night for wrestling than Saturday or Friday. And then it says, and then Rebecca says, where's your partner in crime? She is off out that way. Hey. I got Leopold with me, though, so we're all good. And then Sophie said, is D coming, or is it just going to be you, Travis, by yourself? Oh, boy, if that's the case. Be nice. I'm trying to watch the wrestling and read the comments. Oh, there it is. That'll floor you. But anyways, as you can tell, can you not eat the headphones? Those aren't for you. Yeah, you got pointed at. Anyways, and then why chat have lesser people in it than normal? Most people are probably still here. They just don't chat when I'm here because I don't read and do matches very well. Like right now, Swerve's in there with Shafir. Shafir's laid completely out. Willow's in there now. Moxley looks like he went through a table. I didn't see it because of the stuff that I was doing. Wasn't Willow just helping? There's a big old power bomb. 1, 2, and 3. It's over. Swerve and Willow win. The Behemoth. Anyways, yeah, they pinned Shafir. Or, well, Willow pinned Shafir. But anyways, wasn't Edge with Willow and they were doing the same thing? Did I miss something? Did Edge get replaced? I mean, I only watch it every week. Oh boy, it's going to be one of those nights with D. Ugh. She is right. I can see her. She's almost in my sight. Like I can see parts of her. She'll be here. Hi, Travis. WWE or AEW Dynamite. Yes, Walter. It is Dynamite time. Should be good. Did you do bingo? Do you do bingo on? Oh, shit! John Moxley with a paradigm shift on Willow Nightingale. Might have just broke a hole in the ring. Wow. You don't see that too often. Huh?
They had him attack her, huh?
Yeah, I paradigm shift her right in the ring.
Weird.
Thought the ring would give way. I didn't win bingo.
No.
I know.
Walter. The lameness man.
But he said he will be here for Monday. I think he's going to do a Friday night thing with the movies. Hey, stop in after the movie. Tell us what it was, how it was. Hey, did you like, what was that movie called? Snow White and the Seven Dwarves or whatever? Willow Nightingale has been decimated by the BBC. Do they have another name now?
Who?
The BBC?
I know.
For some reason I thought they changed their name.
Talking about Moxley's crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they do or not. I don't think so, but...
Retribution? I have no idea. I swear they had another name, but... They probably said it. I don't have my earpiece in. Because I was reading...
We're reading and not listening.
The FTR are all mad at each other.
Who are?
The FTR.
Yeah, they were mad last week or whatever.
Free the Revolt or whatever. Revival. Dax Harwood's apologizing for hitting the referee and just gave him a $10,000 check.
What? Why is he giving referees checks?
Don't cash it till Friday, okay? So what happened is he got fined, and so he asked Tony Khan if he could just pay him directly the fine.
What referee is it?
I don't know. The one that's skinny and tall and older.
Is he bald?
I don't know any referees, no. Oh, after Sunday they're going to have a talk. But this Sunday they're going to be brothers.
The brothers are talking?
What?
I said the brothers are talking?
Yeah, they're brothers this Sunday. They're not really brothers. They're just the FTR. Oh, up next! Tony Storm. The Great One. Okay, I have no idea what's happening. I don't think anybody's chatted.
That's fine, I'm almost there, I'm sorry.
Everybody hates
I'm
me.
making two salads, so it's taking me a little bit longer.
Everybody hates me. Old Max. The Righteous Gemstones. I have nothing to talk about, and nobody's in here.
Sorry.
Well, actually, there's people in here, but
They're not talking.
nobody's saying anything
It's
because
a normal Wednesday, by the way. That's normally what happens.
whatever. When you're here, you got Ravi and Piccola.
Robbie might just not be around. Might be sleeping or something.
Yeah. Vin should be in here.
And it is, Vin hasn't been showing up very, fast.
He should be in there right now, too, because that big women's match is next.
Oh, is there a ladies match coming up?
Yeah, it's a big one. It's Penelope Ford and his favorite. The Great One. Tony Storm, the best female gimmick in all of wrestling and probably wrestling history. Women's wrestling history. Oh, it was Swerve that kicked her. That's why. That's why Moxley attacked Willow. I see. Now my eyes are opened.
I'm gonna bring you your salad because I have.
Bring in me salad.
There's chicken and eggs in here.
What kind of chicken?
It's just grilled chicken from the deli.
Oh, you didn't get breaded chick?
I got breaded chicken myself.
You brought me non-breaded chicken?
I got breaded chicken for myself.
You got me non-breaded chicken?
What?
And you got me non-breaded chicken?
Yes. Exactly what I fucking said 5 times.
Oh, you want to argue about it?
Let's argue about it. Let's get her down. Let's have a big fight.
You would.
I want to have a fight with you. Let's do it. Come on, bitch. Bring it on. Fight. 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 Fight.
Why do you think you want to argue so much?
No, I was telling you, and then you kept asking the same stupid question over and over and over again. So I don't know who's trying to fight with who, but I'm pretty sure it's you trying to fight with me. For some ungodly reason. You're not getting what you want.
Why are you still talking? Get your butt in here.
I'm trying. I'm getting myself some water. Thanks very much. It's not like I had somebody doing things for me. You know? Gotta put shit away. Get water.
Not Kevin Knight.
Kevin. What the fuck is Kevin?
That guy.
That guy? That guy.
Oh, there's the women's one.
Why are you taking pictures? Oh, oh, it's the Owen Hart crap. All right.
Monet gonna be carrying around the Owen Hart trophy
Probably.
because it's
Surprised.
relevant in her world.
Did you turn these on?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're still on, but Cat was chewing on them.
I guess I don't need that one. Have it.
Wow.
Oh.
Harley Cameron and Mercedes Monet are gonna have a match together.
Yeah.
What you need?
I need to plug it in.
Oh.
It's blinking, so it's probably low. Mine is, anyways. All right, I don't know who's in here, but hi, whoever you are.
Hello. Now we have a reader.
Yeah. So, if you guys had a problem with Travis being here by himself, I don't know what to tell you. But Walter didn't win bingo, but called bingo and tonight leaving at 9, but he'll be here Monday for Raw. But nobody answered your question about your stuff. Alright, well, Sophie, you can relax and come back. I'm here.
Here she comes, the supermodel. Megan's buddy. The super bad girl.
Bored. Ben is now in the chat. Hey, Vindicator,
Hey,
good
Ben.
to see you. Says, yes, sweet gabbers. I'm just in time for some cake versus cake with Ford versus Storm. Get her done.
And now we're underway. There's a lockup. Tony Storm taking it right to her. I wonder if she's going to take her tits in her purse, too.
Her tits in her purse.
She told Megan Bain this Sunday she's going to leave with her tits in her purse.
Nice. Vindicator says, I like the brackets for both men and women, Owen Hart, but Quitterface teaming with Harley is very weird.
I know, I was just telling Dee about that, but she interrupted me.
Oh.
Not crazy. They're teaming together. on Collision this Saturday.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. The perfect plex. Let's call it what it is. It's a perfect plex. Good stuff. Penelope Ford gets snap suplexed.
Is it for real? Or is it a puppet?
That's right. Penelope Ford is worth the price of admission for this whole entire show. You look on your schedule and it says Penelope Ford's coming to your city. You go watch this.
Is that what you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Tony Storm gets reversed. Big boot right to the face.
Not the boot face.
Mm-hmm. So they showed Penelope with Megan on the
Thing.
on the match,
But Megan's
she's
not out there. Maybe they said she couldn't play. I don't know.
She will be there. April 20th. That's when the NBA playoffs start.
That was what's her face?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Silence of the Lambs. I think she graduated from like Harvard or something.
Hmm. Holders back in the chat says, hi Daphne, it did not win bingo, maybe next week. I saw that message that you didn't win and that you just called bingo. Well, I hope that you're able to play or win next week. Calling it sometimes fun, but winning is probably way more fun. But he says, so Monday I will be here for Raw. Yeah. Fridays is always now movie night, huh?
Did you like the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Yeah, Travis asked you that earlier, but I don't know if you're around, Walter. Did you enjoy that movie this last Friday? Gross.
Did you say gross?
Mm-hmm. Is it gross?
Oh, did you try them?
No, it just looks gross. That Kinder's kind of grody. Like, their chocolate's really weird. Like, the stuff from Europe, like the actual Kinders are really good. And they're fun. But the ones they have in the States are like this weird goop that looks like semen. It's kind of gross, actually. Bronson's in the chat. Hey, Bronson says tomorrow will be Eddie Murphy's 64th birthday. He was born on April 3rd, 1961. Walter says,
Wow.
Rip Val Kilmer, actor from Top Gun and other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, bud. Yeah, we heard about that today.
Real genius. Oh, fuck.
Well, looks like a McKenna show. Although it might be a little actiony, but...
Is the whole show going to be her dangling?
Right? Oh no, I can't get out.
Penelope's still doing it. Here she goes. Back handspring.
Well,
And do a round off.
either your salad's really good, you're really hungry, or you're just trying to eat really fast.
Yes. Look, she's biting her tongue.
Oh.
Or her lip. Or it's a tongue. Tony, don't say that. We just saw it the other day on NXT. I can't remember who did it, though. Yeah, Luthez wouldn't have been biting other dudes' tongues. Isn't that crazy to think about in the women's matches? Bite my tongue. Okay. Men be like, ew.
I'm not going to do your mouth. That's nasty.
Oh!
Bronson says, have you guys seen the Doors movie? Val Kilmer plays Jim Morrison in it.
Seen it several dozen times, yes.
And then Bronson, or Richard says, does Leopold get down on catnip?
You know, probably.
Yeah, he likes catnip. I've given it to him a couple times. He's not too crazy, but he likes it. You know, we missed his birthday this year.
I don't even know when it is.
February 7th. He's 3. We're like, yay,
He's
little
3?
bastard. Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah, it's time to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Penelope getting it done. Can she beat this champion?
Right? Brandon is in the chat. Hey, Brandon, good to see you. Says, hey, Wrestling Gab, making pain, marry Brandon Stevens.
Yeah, she needs
Bronson says, Will Forte plays Mac McGruber. Val Kilmer plays the villain in it, and Val Kilmer lived with Will Forte for a couple months. Cool.
Nice.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was in a movie.
So that must have been like a really
McGruber.
McGruber.
Yeah, it was a goofy movie.
Oh, I understand it's a goofy, but I don't remember it. So either it's old or it's new or
About 10 years old, probably.
no way.
12? 15? Nah. About 12. Mmm. Or Ford.
Mm-hmm.
But she got her TV time.
Are we gonna see Bane?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna come out and say hi.
They have a match this Sunday, of course.
Of course, she's gonna come out and say hi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there she is. Holy shit! The fuck?
Yeah. Good for Bane. Very statuesque. Very statue chest. I mean, est.
That's just silly. Bronson says on the second day of staying with Forte, Kilmer's assistant showed up with 2 duffel bags filled with books. When Forte saw that, he said, that is not a good sign for a quick stay. I don't know. Depends. So we have no idea what's going to happen now. Because they decide to go into the back.
Mm-hmm. Death Riders.
My friend.
Yeah, John.
Oh, John Pants.
He is on the hunt.
Hunt. Vindicator says, funny how Megan only comes out after the match is over. So
This
her and
Sunday,
Penelope
though.
are not a real team as expected.
Mm-hmm. Was watching Big
They're
thing.
like, we need to have a doctor, like, physical person.
Just keep touching her neck.
Just like, we're gonna put you in this little closet area. That's a hallway that goes outside, that goes somewhere else. Don't worry about it. Like, what the fuck?
We're gonna touch her neck a few times.
Anyways. What were you gonna say?
I was watching a Big Bang Theory,
Mm-hmm.
and Sheldon and Amy broke up,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to do fun with flags,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Well, at least everything she can do, I can replace with my right hand, because he can zoom in and show on the remote."
It's funny. Vindicator says, Tony keeping her belt at the pay-per-view, though, but I think Quitter and Athena will have a tourney match instead of title, which, again, is weird booking. That's thanks to your Quitter. That right there is your Quitter, right there. She's calling the shots with all of her wins, all of her title belts that she has. She calls all the shots with them, by the way. So if she doesn't like something, she changes it and says, nope, I'm not losing my title to that person. Nope, I'm not losing my title to that person. Nope, I don't want to put my title on the line for that. Yeah. She's a stupid
That
cow.
doesn't work for me, brother.
Dumb cunt. Anyways, Richard says, do you guys think Speedball Mike Bailey should be in the discussion for the current best mullet in wrestling?
Well, hopefully Harley Cameron beats Athena anyways.
How many wrestlers in wrestling have mullets, Richard? Because I don't even know. So
Jimmy Uso.
Hmm.
He's a mullet.
Well, who else has mullets besides who he said that? This guy in this scene, Speedball Mike Bailey guy. I
Logan
thought
Paul.
didn't one of the FTR have a mullet at some point, or
Logan
still
Paul
does?
has one.
Alright, Sophie's back in the chat. Says, yay, welcome back to... Yeah, sorry I wasn't here. I was trying to make myself some food, and I asked Travis if he wanted a salad, and he did. So I had to make him one, too. So it was like double making. But his is different, so... I had to have 2 separate ingredients. So it took me a minute.
They have Thunder Rosa going against Statlander. Those two are kind of friends. So Statlander should win that one.
Mm.
Then Billy Stark and Jamie Hayter, so Hayter should win that one. And then Julia Hart and Mercedes will win that one. And then Harley Cameron and Athena, Harley Cameron should win that one.
Mm.
And then Cameron and Mercedes, they'll probably do it Mercedes, but it'd be cool if that's where Harley wins. And then Jamie Hayter loses to Statlander, and then Statlander loses to Harley Cameron. That'd be the best way. That's how Vince would do it. I don't know how you would have Monet lose though. It'd have to be some sort of an interference or a trick.
Hmm.
They still have it on. They just did it earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3 Eastern time for it. That's crazy. I mean, it's cool, but... let's see. Sophie was like, Fat D was never going to come to me. Alright about that. And Richard says, Dominic has one of the most beautiful mullets in the world. You know, it's funny, Richard. I'm glad that you pay attention to people's hairdos, but most of the time, I don't really pay attention to their hairdos. So, it's not something I'm like, so-and-so has hair. I might notice, like, differences, but if they keep it the same for a long time, I won't notice much about it.
I like Bobby's hair.
He has none. I don't know if he's ever had hair in wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure he's shaved bald the whole time. Sophie says, when I saw Falcon were dead, I thought it was a horrible April Fool's Day joke. I thought so too. I had to actually go look it up. Because I saw it on TikTok and I was like, no way. So I had to go look it up because I was like, it can't be true. And it was true. I was like, what the fuck?
It's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was suffering or anything.
Well, what's weird about it is it seemed like he was doing better, actually. And so it's just weird that, he all of a sudden got pneumonia. Because I think he was just on a show, or not like a show, but like a podcast thing or something not too long ago. Like, oh my gosh.
Here it comes.
Oh, hey, are you wanting more of your omega-3 fish oil stuff?
I haven't really eaten any of mine. Is it due?
Well, it says it's already coming.
Oh, I guess I charged for it.
Well,
It's fine.
I can cancel it.
It's fine.
It says, can you cancel the order? $51?
Yeah, it's a huge bottle.
Yeah, we're
Just
canceling
canceling
that.
it then, I guess.
Well, if you're not going to take it, there's no reason for you to get it this time, you freak. Good thing I looked.
You're a froke.
You wackadoodle. Like, who acts like that?
Acts like what?
You.
Anybody that's cool tries to act like me.
No.
If that's what you're talking
Nobody act like Travis. He's a dork. Don't do it. You'll just hurt yourselves.
Yeah, it's hard to be this cool.
No. You'll hurt yourselves.
That's what I said.
Trying to look stupid.
Why would they look stupid?
Because you would. Let's see. Vindicator says, too bad the trios title will not be on the pre-show because the standard tag title match won't get enough justified time to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Ow.
She's allergic to food.
Sorry. Sophie says 2 years ago when Roman defeated Cody, 2 years ago where Roman defeated Cody. Vindicator says, so out of curiosity, what do you two think about Raw on Netflix so far? You like it more than SmackDown?
Oh yeah, it's way better. Like, it's not even close. They're like they're like different shows. And it's because SmackDown is like ignored. And I don't know if it's because they got more money from Netflix or what, but they do nothing on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Although Raw lately has had like 3 or 4 matches in a 2.5-hour show.
That's because they talk too much. Just talk too much. Too much talking. Like, it's like, great, awesome. They're like, we're setting up stuff for WrestleMania. It's like, do you have to talk that much about it?
He called him Bob. Bob it!
Remember his wife been called Bob?
Should have called him Robert.
Exactly. Roberto.
Oh, Lord. You don't want any of that, MJF. And none of it.
So it says there was one account on Twitter that making up WWE releases for April Fool's Day. That's nice. That's hilarious. People do funny jokes on April Fool's Day. If we would have been on yesterday, we would have done an April Fool's too. But we weren't. So we didn't.
Dude, I saw one of the funniest April Fool's things.
Mm.
This woman was doing this face thing. I might have sent it to you. You might have seen it. She was doing this face thing, you know, where you do this. And then you pull them off.
Mm-hmm. There you
Your
do.
pores.
With her boyfriend.
Her poor boyfriend. He's like, oh, fuck. Well, never taking this off. Midwest.
like you could put water or a makeup cleanser on it, or it's like alcohol. You get it off. Those masks if you were that worried about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh no!
You got him. You need. Sophie says, I found out Val Kilmer died on Twitter. Bronson says, while Kilmer was living with Forte, the kitchen had been smelling very badly for a week. When Forte went to do laundry, he opened the washing machine and there was a pool of sitting water. Interesting. Sophie says, Val Kilmer did have throat cancer. I knew he had cancer. I didn't know how bad it was. Oh, he was bad. But he didn't die from the cancer. He died from pneumonia.
That is a big motherfucker. Look at his military, like, type dress there.
Out of his face, out of the ring, bitch.
Even MJ, but like, it's so funny the difference in the size of WWF guys and AEW guys.
Well, that's old school. But he's what they are now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting at. Like, that's just big dude.
And what's funny...
I was the same way when I was his age. It's fine. I was the same way when I was his age.
And what's funny about that, what I find funny, is that I think that Triple H is like, well, these flippity flip guys, you know, they won't have as many problems, yada yada. They have more fucking health problems and more brokenness to them than those guys that are big and all muscly.
Oh,
and
shit.
So weird.
Jericho or Big Bill?
No, it's those two.
Uh-huh.
They're after the tag team titles.
Just interrupting.
Why does he have weird scars on his chest? That's creepy. In between his boobs.
Which guy?
Big Bill.
Oh.
So it says AEW All in Texas got moved to a very early time. Yeah, 3 Eastern time. So it says, like Raw and Netflix, when they're in different countries, they could go live at any time. There was a fake rumor that Sheamus got released. One of the fake releases was Jey Uso. And Vindicator says, LOL, so just as I figured, Raw cutting down 30 minutes has not improved their quality of their Yak Fest product. Maybe they need to cut another 30 minutes. They were 2 hours for a long time then, and it was perfect. In all reality, they should only be 2 hours.
Bill's talking too much. He's going to get his ass whooped here. He's like, stand on the chair so you can look me in the eye. That's what Bill said to him. So you realize that Bobby can manhandle him?
Mm.
What the fuck is this?
Did he, have any interactions with him?
Oh my god, don't throw midgets.
Did he have any interactions with him in WWE?
Probably, when they were first there.
Enzo and
I can't remember
Bill?
if Bobby was there yet.
Hmm.
I mean, he was there originally and then left and then came back. I can't remember if they ran into each other. Oh my god.
The person in the audience is expecting a little wrestler.
Well, he is. He's a midget.
I think they're pregnant.
Look behind him. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Why would you even wear something like that? Oh my god. He's just choking him.
They should like fill the audience somewhere right there.
Oh shit.
With like fake people. They're like
Mannequins?
not mannequins. Like people, but like not like ticket holder people. Like people they bought to do stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a whole bunch of them, and then have him chuck a little guy into the audience. Just chuck him in there.
Oh shit.
They'd have to practice a couple times so he didn't kill somebody, but it'd be funny.
The bad apple. Shivani just say?
I was chewing. Cool beans, bud.
Nobody knows who they are.
Vindicator says, from the close I have seen of Jacob the Two, he is at least the only good thing going on Friday nights. So he says the last Top Gun movie was Val Kilmer's last acting role. Yeah, they had him come back for a little bit, and
they killed him off. Didn't it?
Oh,
Just let it be.
Dude. Oh man. Why don't you put it? Oh, why don't you put this on that side so you can put that on it?
I'd have to drill holes in it.
Oh, at first you could just put it up there on top for a minute. Breaking shit.
I moved my foot. You're like, oh, dude. Oh, shit. Uh-oh, there's the Monet.
Dude, I want you on my lap. I really don't, buddy. I don't want you on my lap. No, you don't need bread and butter. You don't have me a Kleenex, please. Thanks. Anyways, Vindicator says, and this story is so flat, like, why did MVP think putting two alphas like Bobby and Maxwell together was a good idea when they both have the same goals? Makes him look dumb. There she is.
She is.
I was wondering if she'd bring her puppet. We barely brought the house down.
Down under.
Oh no, the perfect name.
Look at it. Choo choo. She's whispering to her? Here it is. The money wrath train. Choo choo.
Fuck. Nice. Perfect. I love it. She's fucking hilarious.
The money wrath train.
Choo choo. Choo choo. It's the best way I like the quitter. It's the only way I like the quitter. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, fuck. Alright, let's see. Sophie says Rusev is coming back to the WWE. That's what they say. Richard says, did Max Caster have any segments tonight? Absolutely love the Scissor King. Max Caster has not had any. He does not rap anymore, and he's kind of a worthless segment. So
he's the best wrestler in the world, and he can't win a match. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
The mid-carder will offspring. He's geeked out with that kid. The kid was geeking out. He was geeking with him. That was funny. He just made that kid's life. That was funny.
Sophie says, I have seen a lot of mixed reviews about the international tour that the WWE was on. Do you think WWE will do a 3-week European tour before Mania every year after this week? Not necessarily, Sophie.
I answered this question when you asked it the first time. I say yes.
You think they'll do it right before Mania every year?
I say this year was to see what they could do with it. And to me, it would make sense, especially if they're going to do an international WrestleMania or 3 or 4. But if they did one in Saudi Arabia, think about it. You'd move across Europe and then just into it. It'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how far east they go. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be going to like Turkey or something.
Bronson says Forte said it was like a swamp. He ran the machine with detergent to get the smell out. Then when he moved over to the dryer, he found a dirty pillow inside that was attempted to be washed. Sophie says AEW All In got moved because they didn't want to compete against the WWE Saturday Night's main event. Bronson says Forte even asked Kilmer about, and Kilmer said, yeah, that's my pillow. Sophie says the WWE won't have any house shows until August. This past Monday it was the true last stop on the tour, so they are going to be home a lot more than they usually would be. Bronson says Forte and Kilmer were sitting at this dining room table on a Saturday morning. Kilmer starts playing music from his computer. A Doors song came on while they were listening to music. Sophie said, some people that hated the early Raws are people that do your type of content. Weird.
Yes. That would make sense.
How odd. What the fuck? There's like a whole bunch of nobodies. I don't know any of these people. So weird. So this says some people that I read that. Richard says meow 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 was on one of the greatest TV commercial jingles of all time. I don't know the jingle, I guess, but it's a lot of meows. Sophie says there is no news if Lana is coming back with Rusev, though. Bronson says Forte always loved the Doors movie. He was attending UCLA while they were looking for people for one of the concert scenes. Forte couldn't be a part of that, obviously. Bronson also said Forte never imagined 20 years later, from 91 to 2011, that Val Kilmer, who plays Jim Morrison, would be sitting at his dining room table. Vindicator says Kevin Knight was a fantastic signing. Hope he makes it to the Owen Hart finals.
What?
Who the fuck is Kevin Knight?
Why are you making up names?
I heard it in my ear too. There's somebody guy.
Which one is he? There's like 3 jobbers in Will Ospreay.
Is he the one hanging out with Will?
Maybe. No idea. Literally.
Weird. People are weird.
Insane. Oh! Shoulder block. Homeboy just pops right back up. Like some nerd from like the backyard wrestling organization.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a smaller Will Ospreay, which is already small enough. Do you think maybe it's his little brother? They do look exactly the same.
I don't know. I don't know any of these people. So this says, are you going to be here for the whole show on Friday?
Yes.
Yep. We will be.
The whole thing.
Well, that's the plan, but you know, we could die. Then we wouldn't be here at all, ever again.
Nobody's that lucky.
We wouldn't be that lucky, though. Or rather, you guys wouldn't be that lucky. So he's like, Val Kilmer was that okay Batman. Travis loved him as Batman. I thought he was the best Batman.
He's one of the best. I like that one because Jim Carrey's also the Riddler and what's his name? is Two-Face. That dude's second to none when it comes to
Tommy.
just quickness. Like, his characters are so intelligent.
Old Tommy.
They should have already pinned these jobbers. This is weird. You want to read this? This is the story.
Of what? Which one? What story is it, babe?
Happened.
Sophie says, it is like Dee planned to make food whenever wrestling is about to come on.
Yes, she does. She likes to eat right around 6.
Well, I probably would have done before if I had everything at the house, but I had to stop at a store.
Yeah.
It's a full-blown commercial for us. It might be picture-in-picture for some of you.
Which means that match is lasting way longer than it should.
Supposedly one of the people is amazing.
It's probably the guy that's with Ospreay, I would assume. Because none of the other two, there's no way you could confuse them with Awesome.
Right.
There's a new update.
That sounds terrible.
It's 4-1.
Probably April Fools. You better make sure and check for real that it is.
Oh my god, babe, stop.
So they didn't like April Fool you. I wonder if they do, and then you do it, and then look, see? Look what it did. That's all it did. Look, it aired all your stuff. It's literally a joke. You're fucking up your shit by installing it. You're installing... Dude, you're gonna be in so much trouble. You're not gonna be able to do anything.
You're in so much trouble.
Don't do it on anything else. It totally fucked everything up.
I already did on the other one. It worked just fine.
Oh, you fucked it up too, huh?
Stop.
Just fucking shut up. Richard says, I heard Pat goes to church on Sunday in his ring gear. That makes sense. Sophie says there are fans online that complain about the lack of women's matches on the Mania card and how there are 7 matches for a 2-night Mania.
7 total?
Like there's 7 actual matches? Okay.
I think there's more than that.
I feel like there's 20.
I went through it. There's 11 championships. And there's quite a few other matches going on. And so if they're planning on doing all the championships, they already have too many matches. I think 5 for each night would be plenty.
And almost too much, depending on the matches. Sophie also says Mania is also not only on Easter Sunday, but also on 420. For the first time, both Rumble winners aren't closing the show at Mania. I wonder if then, because I think you had said something about Riddle coming back, or somebody had. I wonder if he'll be back on. They'll have a guest surprise of him on there.
Yeah. I mean, they do advertise that the Rumble winner does main event. So what they're going to have to do is just make every match the main event. And they'll just call it like WrestleMania opening main event match. And then the next one will be WrestleMania second main event match. I mean, they're already trying to get people to call the first night a main event, the last match. So why not just call every match the main event? And then that way, everybody gets a main event at WrestleMania. Yeah? No? Yeah? Everybody? All at once?
What? What? Are they trying to say that?
I haven't read it. I gave it to you first, so I'll have to read it myself.
This part right
Tony
here.
said it was wrong because it said something about somebody's friend was drinking. Ledge Rock Doctor.
Doesn't matter where. Just this part right here.
The male was intoxicated and had obvious injuries to his head and face, which was covered in blood from a laceration to the eye. Deputies also observed facial injuries to the female, who advised her had been hit in the mouth by Mr.
So they're saying that that's the guy. That's her boyfriend.
Right, yeah. Tony said that in the
So they have the whole story incorrect.
That's what Tony said. Oh! Stone Cold Stunner. Hey. Is it because they have no talent that they are making this match so goddamn long? They should have booked another match. This is terrible. What you doing, Benny? Oh, is this what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I don't know if my knee can stay bent like that, but not the one-man wrecking crew. Now you're chewing on my pants. Oh, big clothesline to literally the jobber of this whole division. This whole company, Lee Johnson. He's just taking her dad with her to court on the 11th. Probably just to scare the dude. Because Tony's kind of a bigger dude, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him to go get a fake neck tattoo. Have it come up onto his face a little bit, you know. Big 13. I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they put a tournament match on the pay-per-view? Did they just not have anything else? That just seems so strange. That should be all, like, first of all, it should culminate at a pay-per-view, not just have a tournament match at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'd be really pissed if they put this out there and said that I was drunk and everything if you weren't. And where did they get the idea that you were? Because you were at a party? Because you went to a party? And then you said, you don't tell them you're drinking, you morons. Are they fucking retarded?
Imagine getting beat up by that.
Well, that... If she doesn't dump his ass and move on, she's a dumb cunt, that's for sure. Like,
nice.
You don't fucking keep that kind of crap around. Like, that's just bullshit. I get once, you know, but twice? Fuck off.
He's like 5'7". Yeah, they have the height of the back.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares. Joe, you haven't been relevant since the freaking 90s.
Mm.
Just kidding. It was the 2000s, but still.
He hasn't been relevant since he popped out of his mama's womb.
Not the womb.
The womb.
The poisonous womb.
Richard says, if I were booking Mania, I'd book Rhea Ripley in a handicap match against 7 midgets. That's funny. Sophie says, do you think Raw will go 3 hours every once in a while, like a big event or something? I'm sure. Richard's like, strike while the iron's hot. Sophie says, it is weird that Raw cuts out stuff even though they could go as long as they want.
Yeah. It's not weird. They need to. Triple H knows that it's terrible when they keep pushing it.
After all the
and all they do
backlash
is talk.
and reviews that they've gotten for SmackDown being 3 hours and it's garbage. And that's reviews from like prestigious places, not just us. You know you have a problem.
Ow.
What the fuck was that?
I was holding my leg up with my pants and he bit through my pants. He's chewing on my pants.
Why is he chewing on your pants?
I don't know, because they're there, I guess.
Hey! Hey!
Like,
stop it! Stop! Stop. So this is 2 hours and a half isn't that bad. In some weeks, Raw doesn't go all 2 hours and a half, though. Wow, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah, that's so much less. It's basically 2.5 hours. Gives you wings.
Porn stars think that same thing, you know?
Hmm?
Holding my leg up.
Commercial.
Yeah, but it looks like it's coming back on.
Or is it? So this is hopefully soon. Both SmackDown and Raw are going to be around the same time. I mean length, with SmackDown supposed to go back to 2 hours sometime after Mania. And Chris O'Connor's in the chat. Hey, Chris says, hey, guys. And then Robbie's with us, too. Says, what up, you nerds? Nerds. Chris says, Rusev Day is signed back to WWE. Oh, he really is signed now, huh?
Obviously, WWE doesn't need him, but I just don't know what role he's going to fill.
Who are they going to let go to fulfill
the
his
thing
wanted need to be there?
He's Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed's him. And they also have Jacob Fatu. They're all three the same guy.
Rusev? Really?
Yeah. Just I
don't know. Miro wasn't really like that when he was in there. So
just
he
an
could kind of have
enforcer that tries to be tough, but he's undersized.
Yeah, but...
So they look silly when they're wrestling big guys like, you know, Braun Strowman.
Yeah, but he didn't try to do much of that in AEW. Maybe he'll do something different with this character.
Yeah, well, AEW, he didn't do shit, so...
He's distracted by his wife.
That's... Charlotte Flair liked my comment.
What?
That's the Charlotte Flair. 2.4 million.
Wow. What'd you say?
All I said was the only main event in WWE the only main event for women in WrestleMania or history of WrestleMania. That's impressive. Because she had posted this. That's all of her WrestleMania matches.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only main event for any woman ever.
Mm-hmm. Rob is like, I finally watched your show live. What show?
And a show.
What are you talking about?
What is it?
I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
What show are you watching?
I don't know. He's going to have to tell me because I don't know. I really don't know the answer.
Why are you staring at me?
I can actually see my screen.
Or Jade broke up with her boyfriend.
Oh no. Nobody cares.
She was with him. That was her third boyfriend. His name was Harlem Lewis.
Well, you know, she's like, I got these nice boobies now. I don't need you. I could get something better. Chris says Rusev versus Gunther would be interesting. Apparently, Cross contract comes up later this year, but I think he'll resign because he and his wife are a package deal, and you know, WWE want her at all costs. LOL. Chris also says in last night on NXT, the Pebble became North American champ. Yeah. Travis watched it.
What was it?
The Pebble in NXT.
Oh, it was so stupid.
It was the lamest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
They're literally doing what AEW does. Why are you taking old guys from other companies and putting titles on them that fast?
Yeah.
It sets a terrible precedent. Now, granted, it's not their main title, but still, it's
still a title.
It's setting up a bad precedent. Like, so now the North American title is the title that you signed to get. Well, if you sign with us, we'll give you that title.
Right.
With after just a few matches, maybe even one.
You only have to show up and look like a dweeb and nobody cares and nobody knows who you are, but it'll work. Robbie message retracted his stuff and Vindicator says, so here we go again, Big Travis, meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
And he put a whole bunch of meat emojis. See, Tony has been listening to you, LOL.
Yeah, no, I like the big guys. I don't like this big guy, though. I'm not a fan of this Brody King or whatever.
Chris says, and Cora getting passed around like the plague. Ew.
Yeah.
And Sophie says it looks like Chelsea Green might not be defending her championship at Mania.
Yeah, nor should she. Either should that other one, the Valkyra or whatever. Those mid-card titles didn't even get defended when they were on the men, let alone on the women.
Yeah. Robbie says, this show, D, I didn't watch your SmackDown or Raw rehash trash recap, LOL. Why would you? I mean, unless you were going to come in real quick and hang out with us for 5 minutes of us telling what happened. But we'll be here Friday the whole time because it's a live show. Chris says, yeah, even Stephanie Valcourt relinquished the women's North American title.
Yep, she did. She gave it up.
Robbie's like,
with one
LOL.
condition. She gets to pick who she wrestles for the title at WrestleMania weekend.
Sophie says Randy versus Kevin is confirmed for night 1 along with CM Punk Roman Seth match, but no other matches have been confirmed for what night yet.
Right, although we do have a couple others that we know are going to happen. We just don't know what night they're going to happen on. Like we know Logan Paul's going to be wrestling AJ Styles.
Yeah, that guy.
For sure.
Excuse me. Hers like, D, my boy from Saudi Zir talks. I got him to sub to you guys. Oh.
Nice.
Nice.
Now you gotta hang out.
Chris says, yeah, Punk is not a main eventer. It's night 1. Right?
Yeah, no, it's just night 1. He's not main eventing shit.
Sophie says, do you think there's a chance Owen Hart gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
I would have to ask a wrestling fan that watched him, not somebody that knows about him and glorified him, but was he a Hall of Famer? Because I only didn't watch wrestling for a short window of time, the WWF. I watched wrestling. And I never seen him wrestle once. I have no idea who he is. So for me, no, he's not he's not a Hall of Famer, like not even close. But I would have to take somebody else's word for it.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. I've never
Is he
seen
the
him
guy
wrestle.
that died?
Yeah, he died coming down to the ring.
Oh, that's the only thing I know about him. Death. Dead. Deadity dead. Dead. That's what I know about that guy. Dead. That's it. Nothing else, just that. Dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he ever had any good matches. I know that WWF was at a really low point. I mean, they had like people like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were your champions and shit. It was a terrible time for wrestling in general for WWF, and that's why they had to go to sex. I can't remember what they called that era, but it was right before the Attitude Era.
Right before
it was like the new era or some shit.
Attitude.
But literally, all the wrestlers just left Vince, and so Vince had to break up tag. It was a bad time. But you know, there are kids that were watching it and were like, "Oh, this is the best memories of my life," and I understand that. So I'm not bashing on them, but at the same time, they're not the ones that I'm going to listen to. I'm going to listen to, you know, fans that watched wrestling prior. Then that era came and they were like, he was okay, you know.
Yeah.
But in reality, what do you need?
What's that?
What do you keep looking over here for?
Because you're talking.
That's what you're supposed to do. It's a talk show.
I'm listening.
You look over there, though.
So, you're not in this vicinity? Making Travis uncomfortable. Oh, don't look at me, man. Don't eye contact me.
Come on, Murder Hawk. In this dude.
Robbie says, Dee, tell me, how did you like that promo from Cena and Cody? It was a good Raw segment. I didn't watch it. I did not watch it, Robbie. I read blurbs of it, and that was it while I was doing our show on Monday. Other than that, I haven't seen one... Or I have not probably seen any of the Raw stuff. I think the only thing that I've seen...
I have no idea what's going on here, but...
She goes after her boobs.
I'm all for it.
I guess it was a move. It was probably very, what do you call it?
What's her name? Io Sky?
No, it's some girl named Mikey or something like that. I don't know who she is.
Mikia?
Anyways, Robbie, I haven't seen any of the Raws. Like, none of the actual stuff, by the way. I've only read stuff online. The only ones I've watched is the stupid SmackDowns, and the only reason why is because Travis plays it out there, even though he may have watched it earlier in the day sometimes. Anyways, Chris says, went to my Stroh's minor league game last week, got lots of autographs, but 2 of them are top prospects. One of them is Bryce Matthews and pitcher AJ Bluebaugh. These guys are definitely going to be stars.
Hope so. Your scouts aren't the same as they used to be back when they had Lunau and those guys running the front office. So I'm hoping, though, that they got some good talent. Not great coaching.
Robbie says, yes, Owen had a good run. I remember as a kid watching it live Sunday night, him dying.
Yeah, I watched the pay-per-views, and I don't remember him ever being on a pay-per-view. And so I was kind of like, well, who's this guy? And he's dead.
Who's this guy? Ah!
I'm like, what the fuck?
That guy's broken.
I was
He's
kind of
broken
looking
forever.
forward to seeing it, and then all of a sudden, I just remember they turned the cameras towards the audience, and the audience was like all horrified, and then they zoomed in on JR, and I want to say the King, and both of them were just like kind of weird, but I can't remember if it was the King or not at that time, but I'm pretty sure it was JR, and it was just, all right, well, the show must go on. And then they just had the next match go on, and that was it. And then I guess he died like later, and then they're like, "Yeah, he died in the hospital." They just announced it during the fucking matches. You're like, I was like 16 or 17 when that happened.
Right.
I took my Descrambler box over to my buddy's house, and we were watching it over there. It was back in the cable days. I had a
Cable
Scrambler
guy.
box. Cable guy.
Robbie says it was good to see Bianca get beat up by Rhea. And Chris says also got the new Stroh City Connect jersey. I like it, but I just don't like the patch on the side because it looks like the Air Jordan 1 logo. But apparently it's based off a train station logo here in Houston. That sounds fake.
Oh God. This is one of my favorite TikToker or whatever it's called, X's.
Do I need to read the whole thing?
What's from there to there?
Okay, just making sure.
It's just a short little. What's wrong with you?
It's too close to my face.
You got old?
I got old. Is that funny? What's funny about it?
Maybe you didn't read it.
I did. What's funny?
Just what he said.
Which person? The guy making the comment?
Yeah, the entire community. His true colors. He was a DEI champion.
Okay. Chris says, I want Megan Bain to squash me. I think a lot of people want Megan Bain to squash them.
That's the guy talking.
Oh. Jobber calls out King Ricochet. Robbie says Julia Hart doesn't stand a chance. So he says Ethan Page won the NXT championship like the first month he was in NXT. All day breakfast at the Cracker Barrel. The Cracker Barrel. Hassan is in the chat. Hey, Hassan says, hi there, guys. TV Network for Evolve on my phone was good, and IGN for Nintendo Switch 2 showcase video game, and it was good. Oh yeah, by the way, they have the actual whatever thing for this Nintendo Switch 2, like the whole
official release.
The official release
was today.
Yeah, the official release video and all the stuff of what they're doing.
Oh,
and
so it's not released.
Not released yet. It's gonna be released in June 5th or something like that is the date.
How
but
much
it's
is
like
it?
They're doing $450, and then it's like $500 with a game or something like that. I heard. Chris is like, Travis, you played 2K25 yet? Are you talking about the wrestling 2K25?
I play wrestling or basketball, but I haven't played wrestling. No,
Yeah.
I don't even think we own it. Did you buy that the other day?
No, I didn't buy any
okay.
wrestling. I didn't buy wrestling stuff. Oh my gosh,
Got golf.
golf.
Got the new golf game. Kind of excited to play it. Except for she got busy in life, so now I have nobody to play with.
I was like, knock knock.
Who's there?
The dwarf.
The dwarf who?
Who was too short to ring the doorbell. Sophie says Bret Hart is the first 3-time Hall of Fame with them inducting that Stone Cold match.
You can't... Stop. That's not how it works. Jesus. It's just a match. The match goes to the Hall of Fame, not the people in the match. Unless they're already Hall of Famers. They're already there. Jesus Christ, you'd have people like when Hogan's said and done, he'll be a 47-time Hall of Famer. Is that what we're trying to do?
Yes.
Stone Cold is an 18-time Hall of Famer. It doesn't work like that. It's their match got in the Hall of Fame. That's awesome. It should. The first match should definitely be Hogan and Andre, though, as it's the biggest match in the history of the sport. WrestleMania 3, Pontiac, Michigan.
Right. Chris says, I will say the Snow White girl can get it, but she is a horrible person.
The Snow White girl. Oh, what's her name? I can't even remember now. Rachel Ziegler or something like that.
Sophie says Bret Hart is the lightest retired wrestler that badmouthed AEW. Robbie says main event with your boy Coop. Oh, excuse me. Lame. What I think is hilarious is that the people in the audience aren't very excited. They're just like, oh, look, that guy's out there. They don't even care. Dumb. They're all like, see how cool he is. They're like thinking it's bong.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. It's that guy. He's coming. He's there. He's ready for his match. The Death Riders being close in their hands. Robbie says, Travis, how is Matt and Jeff Hardy still wrestling in TNA? They both looked fucked.
Oh, I know. It's weird. They're old as fuck. It's so funny to look at them. Matt Hardy's back's been like fused together. I feel bad for him. But he has literally no mobility.
So he looks even stupider than when he was in here.
Yeah, basically. About the same, but yeah.
Oh, hey, the bell rang. Travis is playing on his phone, but we don't know what's happening in the match.
Yeah, because he's playing a lot. Weirdo. I don't even know who he's wrestling. Oh.
Exactly. Because you've been playing on your phone. I've had to watch this garbage while you've been just dinking around on your phone, getting to do whatever you want to do. Uh-huh. Well, we can play that game too. I'm going to leave. Bye, everybody. I don't don't have to pay attention either.
Bulldog jizz here. Going right after him. Oh, you're a bait and uppercut!
He got after him before they even rang the bell. The ref was very upset about it.
Oh, Edge is so old.
Yeah, he came down on his rascal.
Can he?
And he needed a chair to sit down so he could get beat up some more.
That's a good idea. That'll save his hips.
Totally. So it says I think Hulk versus Andre would have been the first inducted, but for some reason they didn't choose it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have reasons. It's fine. It's probably just to placate to the younger fans, the middle-aged fans, whatever you want to call. It'll get there. It's no big deal, though. I mean, I would assume they're going to start putting more matches in. They need to do, maybe 10 a year or something. Because there's quite a few good matches, especially from the Golden Age. Randy Savage Steamboat is another big one from that same pay-per-view. But you got to put WrestleMania 1's main event in there, Roddy Piper. And Paul Orndorff versus Hogan and Mr. T. That has to be in there. I mean, it's the first one.
Yeah.
It's the
one. It's the one and only.
I mean, shit, Muhammad Ali's in the Hall of Fame for that reason. For that match right there. He was the guest referee. Did you know that?
No, I don't know anything about them.
They didn't let him get in the ring, though. He was the outside referee to make sure everything was okay outside the ring.
Oh, of course he was. Robbie's like, LOLD, Travis, him. I don't know what you're talking about. Sophie says that they would induct Ricky versus Randy Savage for Mania 3 as the first match to be inducted.
A great match. It's obviously a good match, but it's nowhere near this. I mean, the magnitude of Andre Hogan. I mean, you're talking about the greatest match in history ever. Like, most people watched it. It was just, it's the pinnacle. It was the passing of the guard from the old guard to the new.
It's your pinnacles. Pinnacle tentacles.
Where
Pinnacle
Savage
tentacles.
and Steamboat was fantastic, but it was, I don't know what else you would call it. Basically, it was for a mid-card title. And it had a fruit roll-up as how they won, which is fucking weird. They didn't actually have a clear-cut winner. It was a fruit roll-up. Nobody wants to see a roll-up for a title match like that.
Yeah, that's weird.
But there again, it was a mid-card title, so it's fine.
Mid-card.
But then Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, that match was fantastic when the Warrior dethroned Hogan. Great match itself.
Robbie wants to know, what about a Hornswoggle? Any memorable matches?
I don't. That was in the dark days of the WWE. That's that same stuff. I didn't watch it. I know who he is. I know they did weird, silly shit with him.
It was the garbage days.
Him and Fit Finley. By the way, my neighbor's dog's Finley, and that's how I remember her name, is because of Fit Finley.
Sophie says we know most of Undertaker's WrestleMania matches will be inducted.
Right. I mean, obviously, there's a bunch of matches that need to go in there. That's why I said they're going to have to do like 10 a year for a few years. Because just one a year isn't going to cut it.
If they're going to actually do matches. Is that something new they started this year or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is fine. And, they could do it all year round. Just add a match a month. That would work. That way you get 12 a year. And there is a shit ton of matches to choose from.
Sophie says we know most of Undertaker. Oh, I read that one. Chris says people would are cringy virtue signaling and say best match for Hall of Fame would be Gunther versus Hermie, Part 1 in NXT, like for this generation.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that it was NXT.
Mm-hmm. Chris also says, and also they will say Taker versus Michaels. Sophie says if they do put matches in the Hall of Fame, we don't know if they will include current talents in it. James Sotelo is in the chat, says, do you think MJF will end up with the Hurt Business?
For a minute. I have a feeling that it'll happen.
Sophie says HBK and Triple H will be inducted many times as well if they are inducting matches.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And that's not how it works. It's just matches. It's not the people in the matches. They've already been inducted. Some of them might not be in the Hall of Fame, but it's still a Hall of Fame match. Like, there's a few with Daniel Bryan that, I mean, and he's not a Hall of Famer,
no.
But he had a couple matches that could be Hall of Fame worthy.
Did he finally quit AEW or did he just die? I don't know. I feel like he's probably just dead.
Pretty sure his wife wants to come back to WWE with her sister.
Uh-huh. We'll have to give that one another try. That first episode was hard to even get through. It was so gross. What are you doing?
That's where she stuck me.
Oh, did she get some blood out of you this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never got it there before.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I have a pretty badass vein that goes up there.
Oh. Yeah, I have one right there. You can see it.
Yeah. Your transparent skin.
Yeah, basically. I have scratches all over you.
I don't know what that's even from.
What the hell? What have you been doing?
Look how far apart they are.
Like a human. Did you scratch yourself?
Not
You're
that
like,
I'm aware
I
of.
scratched myself in the night. Blah!
But I don't think it... Yeah, right? But it would have had to have been hard, too.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it's that.
Okay.
I don't know what it was, though.
That's funny, because they're like evenly spaced.
Exactly.
apart.
It's like Wolverine.
Right?
Got in a fight with Wolverine.
Chris says Goldberg and Hogan needs to be in the Hall of Fame matches. Sophie says this year they are inducting one match, but next year they can induct more than one.
Well, that's what I was saying, and you don't have to do it like that, right? It doesn't have to have like a press conference or something. Well, I mean, they could have that, but all they would have to do is just put them in, right? Because it's just like putting games in the Hall of Fame in baseball or something, which is fine. You just don't need to have like a ceremony for it. So just do like one a month.
Yeah.
Oh, the first of the month. Ooh, what match is going to go in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Sophie says, wonder how the WWE decides what match to induct every year.
Just whoever Triple H liked.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
That's
because you have no historians, right?
You don't have historians. You don't have people who vote on it. So you don't have like a board that like votes what should go in. Like
yeah, there's no
like,
writers like in other sports.
Yeah, other sports they actually have like people who actually vote for people to go into Hall of Fames. It isn't just all willy-nilly whatever you feel like that year.
Right, and it's 5 years after you retire. So you retire, you got 5 years, and then after that, you're eligible, and then you're eligible for 10 years, I believe, to get in. And if you don't get in within that 10 years, then you go to what they call the Veterans Committee, and then everybody that's in the Hall of Fame can vote on you going into the Hall of Fame.
Mm. James says, I think John Cena will win and have a match with The Rock and lose. Then we will finally see Roman Reigns on The Rock.
Well, you could see Roman and The Rock without the title, though.
Yep. Chris says, I wonder if they will induct matches from Raw or SmackDown, not just pay-per-views like Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy would be in it, but that was on a regular SmackDown show.
You know, it really just depends, but I mean, it's possible. There was a few good ones that I've seen. Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan was one of the best matches I've ever seen, and it was just on a Raw or SmackDown.
Sophie says there's no way the triple threat match between Benoit, HBK, and Triple H could get inducted.
Sure it could. It's just a match.
Chris says...
That's different because it's not Chris Benoit. It's a match.
Yeah. Chris says Maestros versus Mariners ALCS in 22 would definitely be in a baseball game Hall of Fame. That was when my boy Jeremy Pena basically won the game for us.
Yeah.
And Sophie says the WWE is starting to induct matches because of the UFC starting to induct fights.
Yeah. Which is fine. Like I said, it's great. I have no problem with it. It's just you don't say that they're now a 12-time Hall of Famer or something. Don't do that. Just, hey, that's their third match in the Hall of Fame. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Don't say they're a 5-time Hall of Famer. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's not how it works.
That doesn't sound good at all. James says Hall of Fame match Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, great one.
Robbie says, D. Travis, which matches should one watch out on AEW and WrestleMania pay-per-view?
I don't know what that.
I don't know what you're asking. Sophie says if Triple H was selfish as people think he is, he would have inducted one of his Mania matches this year. Robbie says I saw that WWE is holding tryouts in the UK.
He put himself in the Hall of Fame in his first full year of running the company. You tell me.
Yeah, Sophie. It's not about matches. He literally put himself in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, come on.
Hello! Talk about selfish. Talk about all about you.
It would be different. Can you imagine Vince McMahon putting himself in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I figured I should be in the Hall of Fame. It seems like a right
I'm going to headline it this year, guys. Vince would tell him to go fuck off.
Right.
Guess what? Vince isn't in the Hall of Fame. Imagine that.
So he says, I don't know why it took the WWE this long to induct matches into the Hall of Fame. They should have done it years ago. Chris says Punk versus Taker at Mania will definitely be in the Hall of Fame.
Probably. I don't know that match myself, but that was probably in the era where I actually quit watching wrestling because Hulk Hogan lost to The Rock.
Yeah.
I actually quit for like 10 years. I was one of those people that actually did it.
Yeah, he didn't just complain and like say he was going
like,
to.
Done.
He actually just stopped watching it.
Yeah. I'd watch pay-per-views. Not all of them, but here and there. I never wanted to pay the full price of a pay-per-view, so I would just get them from other people. Like, not from, but like...
Through. Yeah, like share it or go to their place and watch it and pitch
split
in
it
or something.
Yeah.
Like, alright, yeah, we can... I'll pay $20 for, to get it.
Shit, I'll pay half.
Robbie says, I'm asking what matches should one watch out for on the two pay-per-views, AEW and WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't know what matches you should watch out
obviously... and I'm not a big fan, anybody in here knows this, of Toni Storm, but what she's doing right now is she's the greatest woman's character in wrestling history. What she's doing right now has never been done by any woman in wrestling. She's like... up there, not obviously, I'm not going to say with The Undertaker, but what she's doing is Undertaker-ish, where she is a character that's bigger than she is. Right. Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. He's a character bigger than he is.
Right.
Without that, she is nothing. With that, she's the best in the world, what she's doing. And so, of course, you have to watch her match. You have to watch her anytime she's on TV. You have to watch any promo she does. She is must watch. She's the Bloodline right now.
Chris says, yeah, I wanted to stop watching WWE when Jey Uso won, but wrestling is too big to pass up just because of one dipshit. LOL.
You're right. But it's different because Hogan at the time was bigger than wrestling.
Yeah.
Like it would be like, well, they just don't have that guy nowadays. There isn't a guy that is that big. But
right.
It would be like the equivalent of John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Who else is big? Drew McIntyre and Charlotte Flair all just leaving. Like, getting fired.
Yeah.
Or something. Not even going to another company, just getting screwed. Like, you'd be like, oh, well, I guess there's nothing to watch on wrestling anymore.
Chris says, yeah, Timeless Tony is the modern day Moolah.
No, it's bigger. Like Moolah didn't have, but I understand where you're coming from. She is. That's a perfect one put her with. But Moolah didn't have the story with it. She was just history. Like Moolah, when she was around, she was history, so she carried that aura with her. But Toni Storm is creating it. She's at the early stages, and it's as big as anything that Roman's ever done. It is the bloodline for a woman, and that, like I said, it's never been done by a woman. You can't name me a woman's character.
I don't want to.
Charlotte the Queen. Okay, cool.
Not cool.
Becky the Man. Okay,
no.
Cool. Rhonda, the baddest woman on the planet.
The fact that they didn't, I mean, the only one they did is like Charlotte. She continued on with it and kind of revamped it and did something different. But Becky didn't. She literally just gave up on it like it was nothing because somebody had a fit and so she stopped using it. And it's like what she should have done is told him to go fuck the fuck off and done it anyways.
With 2 fingers in the air.
Yeah, told him to go fuck himself. You're an old man. I'm the man now, bitch.
Right.
That's what she should have fucking said. Told him to go
Concerto.
take one and shove it up his ass. What are you going to do about it, old man? Send your Nupo baby daughter on me?
Right.
I mean, she could have used that, but instead she just cow-tied and rolled over with her tits up.
Right.
Lame.
And Ric Flair's thing was to be the man, you have to beat the man. It wasn't the man. Like, he was never the man. Yeah. I mean, he was. Ric Flair's the man. But what I'm saying is that's not what his moniker was.
Right.
He was the nature boy, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Woo! You know?
Sophie says about The Rock versus Hulk Hogan as a potential induction.
Oh, absolutely.
Richard says Summer's Eve and Tampax inducted the Young Bucks to their Hall of Fame this year.
I heard about that.
That's nice. I figured they would get there.
How'd they get in?
Good for them.
How'd they get in? Well, they had to pull some strings.
Yeah, exactly. Sophie says, do you think Toni Storm would have gotten over in the WWE with this character?
Yes. Yes, this character is as big as Roman Reigns. That's what I'm trying to say. It's as big as the bloodline. When her contract's up, if Tony doesn't give her a crazy amount of money, she can go to WWE with this and just show up, and that crowd will go fucking crazy. And the reason is because she's good at it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, Roman was good at what he was doing in the bloodline. She's good at it. And so when she cuts a promo, it's fantastic. It's not just decent. It's good. It's not Jey Uso saying yeet, yeet, yeet.
Yeah.
And getting this fake...
She doesn't have some weird catchphrase. That's all she does.
She comes out and she says shit that it just makes you go, what the fuck did she just say? She just said she's going to take her tits home with her?
Vindicator says, hey, you guys, take care. I will see you next Wednesday. Okay, bye then.
See you,
Robbie says, so no match is worth watching on WrestleMania, LOL. Sophie says, it would be interesting to see the reactions if Jey Uso wins at Mania. Robbie says, why is most matches on WrestleMania three-way lazy booking? Sophie says, do you think Stephanie McMahon would go in the Hall of Fame one day?
Yeah, with her husband there, probably. Probably even next year.
James says, do you think Britt Baker can make it in WWE if she were to get a contract?
No.
Robbie's...
She's not her. She was good a few years ago, but she's had a stroke. She's just not. She may never be able to even wrestle again.
Robbie says, so an 8-hour AEW pay-per-view, just watch Toni Storm. Yes. Chris says, yeah, and even Tessa Blanchard, she's just riding coattails of Charlotte, just like Tully with Rick. Robbie's like, who the blood clot is Tully? And then Sophie says, with Jey Uso winning the Rumble, I don't get the hate it has gotten from so many fans.
Because he's a mid-card wrestler as a singles wrestler. He's a top guy in the tag team and the bloodline. But you have to remember the bloodline made him. And they made him as if he was working with Roman. So Roman was the guy, and then they took Jey and they made him main event weekday shows on SmackDown. That's just what it was, right? He didn't make himself. Roman made him. Then they started calling him main event Jey Uso, but it was because of what Roman was doing with the bloodline. Then he left it. Look at this. Swerve's getting attacked in the back by the whole Retribution, or whoever these people are. The Blood Raiders. What's their name?
Blood Clark people.
Blood Clarts.
I don't know who they are.
John
I'm just
Moxley
using
and his
Robbie's
gang.
word that he used earlier. His
But
favorite was
anyways, so he's not that guy. He's not. That's an illusion. It was created by the corporate bloodline to make Jey Uso worth shit, and he's not. That's the problem. He's a tag team wrestler. He's a Uso. He's not
right.
a main event fucking champion. It's dumb that people think he is. It really is. It's dumb.
You guys are delusional,
It's
and
fucking-
you're just eating up the propaganda that they're feeding you, which is gross.
It's fucking dumb.
Robbie says, Cope, well, wow, what a win. And Chris says Mariah May could also go to WWE. Sophie says, did you hear on NXT they said Tony fumbled after Ricky won the championship last night?
Oh, yeah, that was silly.
Robbie
They
says,
didn't. That's stupid. I mean, he's not going to make it there any more than he's going to make it here. He's a little fucking kid. It's not going to work.
Right. No.
It's NXT. He's in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Once he gets to the main roster, everything that he does isn't going to work.
Yep. Robbie says Zach Gowen with the one leg hop along should be in the Hall of Fame. Robbie's like, you never recommended me any matches on WrestleMania to watch.
WrestleMania main event will be the match to watch.
That's on the main event, which is going to be on Sunday night.
There's only one.
Because there's only one. Sophie says, if Jey Uso got a lot of hate for winning the Rumble, wait till Mania where the internet could burn down.
He's going to win. There's no doubt he's winning that match. It's fucking stupid, but he's going to win.
James says, you think John Moxley will leave or stay if he loses the title?
He's staying. He has nowhere to go. Oh!
Robbie says, these bomber clarts really sticking it to Swerve.
Old bomber clarts. Exactly,
The
bruv.
old blood clarts. Wow, this is lame.
You know, Swerve started this shit, so we have nobody to blame but Swerve, right?
Right.
Because he's the one that kicked Maria Shafir. There's no blood.
I'd hope not. Hopefully they use glass that doesn't do that, because if they did, he would have it embedded in him forever. This shit does not come out. Sophie says they are starting to run out of main event legends to induct in the Hall of Fame.
Whatever. They have Cody, and Seth, and Roman, CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. Robbie's like, Saturday has a main event.
What's Saturday? This Saturday?
No, he's talking about WrestleMania. Whatever, Robbie.
Don't
I
be
mean,
weird.
if you think that, then you're a weirdo, but whatever.
How many main events are there at WrestleMania now? Just every match is just
12.
a different main... Yeah, right? They're going to have 6 on night 1 main events and then 6 on night 2 main events?
Yes.
That way everybody gets a main event?
They get the main events of the mains of the events.
It's a good way to do it.
All right, everybody, that's the end of AEW Dynamite. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you are interested, AEW does have a pay-per-view this weekend on Sunday, I think it is. Yeah. And anyways, we won't be here for that. But if you guys want to watch it, you're more than welcome to and do all 50,
that. Just so you know.
Okay. So all that good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back again for a full episode of SmackDown on Friday with us. We're going to be bored out of our minds for 3 hours of nothing. Anyway, so you guys better show up and at least entertain us for a while. All right, Robbie says, so a 2-night pay-per-view for only to watch the Sunday main event, basically. And it really sucks because it'll be really early in the morning for you. So if you're going to bed the next night, you might want to not do it. Might as well just plug it in, I guess. Anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We will be back on Friday. You guys have a good rest of your weeks. Stay chill.
Whatever that means.